everyone, welcome to Catholic Girl Talk. I'm Olivia and today I have Aly Aleigha with me, and she is an awesome Catholic singer. Before we go any further, Catholic Girl Talk is a YouTube channel about faith, femininity, fashion, and friendship, so check it out below if you're interested. We're going to start out. Just tell us about yourself, what your ministry is, and what you do. And
sure, yeah.
That.
So I'm a singer, songwriter, and speaker. I started recording when I was in college, and since then the Lord's been taking me on this just like crazy, incredible journey, and it's been really great. So yeah, we travel around as a band, and I do my own thing as well, playing music and giving talks for people.
So what inspired you in the very first place to start singing and writing songs?
Well, I think for me at least, I never expected to do anything musically, so I just wrote songs out of prayer and like my relationship with God and as a way to process what was going on in my life. So I never really anticipated sharing it with anyone, but then the Lord just kind of made it clear that there are a lot of different ways He did this, but that I just needed to share it with people.
So as you grew in writing through prayer and stuff like that, what made you grow in your relationship with God? What was that maybe turning point in your life where you felt?
Yeah, the biggest turning point was actually at a Steubenville conference when I was a teen. I went for the first time, I think it was 2008, back in the day, and I had this just really amazing encounter with the Lord in adoration that changed my life. And because up until that point, I was struggling between like different sins, but also just like wanting to like be good and like living for myself, but not giving it to God. Like I was like, you're too good for this. I got this. I'll handle it. That control thing. It's so real, especially for us ladies.
Yes.
It's real.
Mm-hmm.
But so I refused to like just hand over my problems to the Lord. And when I was at that adoration at that Steubenville conference, I just like broke down and felt the Lord just tear open my heart and just say, hey, just chill for a minute and just be mine and like be with me. Yeah, so that was like the biggest turning point for me.
Wow, that's beautiful. How has that played out in your singing? Have you wrote any songs about that, or?
I think just like my relationship with God has like continued to blossom as I grew, and I went to the Holy Land. So we've got that's
awesome.
Yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I went to the Holy Land for the first time when I was a freshman in college, and when that happened, like that was just a really solidifying thing that took that first initial experience with the Lord at the Steubenville conference, solidified it in a way that allowed me. I think it was really there that the Lord gave me the mission of music and speaking, because up until that point I was just like really timid, and I mean, like I still can be. But yeah, it like the scriptures are just, they come alive there in such an amazing way. So my songwriting flowed out of that relationship with God that was fostered at that initial conference and then throughout the Holy Land. Yeah.
That is so inspiring. Why don't you tell me about some of your particular songs and maybe inspirations for them?
Sure. This is The Labyrinth. And it's kind of funny. I knew that I wanted to write, I had written a bunch of these songs, and I knew that I wanted the theme of this album to be a parallel between Adam and Eve's journey and our own, because like, Adam and Eve in the garden, they're awestruck and like completely just overjoyed at the presence of God, and we have moments of that in our lives, and then we have rivers and valleys and deserts that we find ourselves in throughout our lives, metaphorical ones. So I wrote Valley of Tears, and I thought that was going to be like the main song on the album, but then I wrote The Labyrinth when I was just going through this really hard time and struggling, and I felt like in prayer God was saying, hey, like I'm with you in this, because I felt like I was in this just like trap that I couldn't get out of, and I described it in my little imagination as this labyrinth, like this maze that I was just stuck in, and the more I moved, like the worse it got. And I think that a lot of us can find ourselves in those places, but in that moment for me, I felt like God was saying, like, listen, you're trying to push through, and that's okay, but you don't have to just like push through to get out of this, because God's in the business of like transforming those moments and transforming just the very walls of that labyrinth, the circumstance that we're in, and bringing us to something that's way greater than we could ever imagined and anticipated before.
That's so beautiful. I think that is like so true for everyone's life. Like I think everyone can relate to that, and I think that's so incredible. incredible to have that, you know, in a song. Very relatable to wherever you are, like you're going through something. Yeah. So I love that.
Yeah. So when the band heard that song, they're like, Aly, this is it.
Cover song. Yeah. You can check out all of Aly's stuff. I'll link it all below. And also, guys, I just have to say these mugs are like amazing.
Thanks.
So I wanted to ask you, since this channel is mostly high school gals, what advice would you give them? Like looking back to your younger self, what is the like main thing you would have told yourself, or even just something you feel that you see us struggling with that you want to share and tell us?
I think for me, the biggest thing that I always struggled with was like just insecurities about my worth, my dignity, and also just like my purpose in life and how that would play out into my future. So the Lord has taken me on this incredible journey of just like trusting Him with everything, because like we were talking about, the control thing is so real. Like we just want to like grasp at everything, like even details, like little circumstances in our lives, and try and take control, when we're supposed to have this posture of just openness before God and receive what He wants to give us. And through that, like finally, like the Lord taught me that, and I'm still learning, you know, it's a process, but it's only in that posture that we can just like receive the confidence and understand our self-worth and be given the mission that we're supposed to have. So like my music wouldn't have come out of that insecure place. It had to come out of that journey that the Lord took me on.
Right. Mic drop. I love that advice so much. You said it all.
Good.
About where they can find you everywhere.
Sure.
I'll link it all below, but
yeah. So you can go to my website, which is www.aly-aleigha.com. And my name is spelled kind of weird, so just click the link. It's easier. And yeah, my music can be found on iTunes or Amazon or pretty much anywhere you can find music.
Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe to Catholic Girl Talk. Click the bell so you get notified. Follow me on Instagram, you know, email list, everything like that. And also follow Aly on all of her social media and all those things. All those great things. And have a beautiful day. God bless.
God bless, guys.
I'm going to try to do it like this because I've never done it like this before.
Oh, smart. I just put it up through.
I just saw someone do that, and I was like, oh, I'm going to try that.
Yeah, I'm glad you like them.
One day when I'm a millionaire, I'll get like
They're not $1 million, they're 25.
So, did you just release an album?
No, but we are working on one.
Okay.
Thought it was like really just
Can we put that in the bloopers?
absolutely.
Shout out Panina.
Hey. That was awesome.
Where was I? Process the things in your life.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you all for watching. Please.
I think you need to do a Catholic Girl Talk video with the rapper.
Okay, all right. Awesome. Yeah. She has a beautiful voice. I mean, obviously.